There is something about Greta Thunberg that seems to trigger some people.
It was all a little melodramatic.
Honey, go back to school. Calm down. It's going to be okay.
Did President Trump just mock a 16-year-old Swedish climate activist?
All we young activists are doing is telling people to listen to and unite behind the science.
It could be the biggest day of protest yet.
Strikes she's inspired in the U.S. and across the world.
People are striking today in over 150 countries.
The tipping point we are waiting for right now is that people will realize what power we actually have.
With her innovative ideas, young age, many achievements, and overall influence on our changing world, Greta Thunberg has broken many societal and activism barriers and has led to a new movement on the act against climate change. The result of this modern activism has also broken many barriers between the influence of older generations versus younger ones. Greta Thunberg was born on January 3, 2003, in the city of Stockholm, Sweden, where she grew up with her sister and her parents, Milana Ernman and Svante Thunberg. Greta had first learned about climate change when she was about 11 years old. Being shown videos of starving polar bears, extreme weather, and flooding, she was taught that it was created by our way of living and that she should turn off the lights to save energy and recycle paper to conserve resources. To her, the reality of the way humans were living and impacting the earth seemed too unreal. She began to feel extremely alone and because of this fell into a depression. She stopped talking, stopped eating, and was later diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, OCD, and selective mutism. Despite her setbacks, Greta pushed forward. Starting in August of 2018, Thunberg started a global movement by skipping school. At age 15, Greta spent her days camped out in front of the Swedish Parliament holding up a sign stating, "School Strike for Climate." This was the beginning of Thunberg's fame and life as an environmental activist. On September 20th, 2019, millions of adolescents walked out of school as part of the global climate strike inspired by the 17-year-old's influence. It was the first of several planned events during and ahead of the United Nations Climate Action Summit. The protests and strikes kicked off in London and spread across the globe in places such as Thies, Senegal, Sofia, Bulgaria, San Salvador, El Salvador, Budapest, Hungary, Zagreb, Croatia, St. Petersburg, Russia, Belgrade, Serbia, Bucharest, Romania, Jakarta, Indonesia, Tarawa, Kiribati, Manhattan, New York, Kabul, Afghanistan, Brussels, Belgium, Edinburgh, Scotland, Cape Town, South Africa, Abuja, Nigeria, Paris, France, Copenhagen, Denmark, Manila, Philippines, Hamburg, Germany, Dublin, Ireland, Melbourne, Australia, Sydney, Australia, New Delhi, India, Bangkok, Thailand, Tokyo, Japan, Krakow, Poland, Hong Kong, China, Austin, Texas, San Francisco, California, Bogota, Colombia, Seattle, Washington, Sao Paulo, Brazil, New Mexico, Mexico, Lima, Peru, Los Angeles, California, and of course, Greta Thunberg's hometown, Stockholm, Sweden. Greta Thunberg's actions and influence have provided her access to more widespread coverage and granted her ability to spread her word to more and more people. Greta is not the first to bring awareness to the severeness of the climate crisis, nor is she the most qualified to fix it. Thunberg doesn't have access to any traditional levers of influence, such as stardom, wealth, or even credited qualifications, but by addressing a complex danger with piercing courage and outrage, she has become a modern icon and one of the most compelling voices on the most important issue facing our planet. With her newly acquired fame, Greta began to make speeches at conventions, summits, and platforms, any place where her voice could be heard. Some of her more notable speeches include her House on Fire speech at the 2019 World Economic Forum, testifying in front of the United Nations Climate Action Summit, and her TED Talk. In all of her speeches, Thunberg focuses on the issue of climate change and the simple ways we can fix it. She makes it known her anger and frustration towards the large companies and corporations and the part they play in destroying our ecosystem. The directness and bluntness of Greta's speeches is what separates her from other climate activists. Greta's young age gives her an edge and a certain importance when making her speeches. People don't expect this type of anger from a 17-year-old. Recently, American President Donald Trump released a tweet stating, "So ridiculous, Greta must work on her anger management problem, then go to a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. Chill, Greta, chill." In retaliation, the young activist changed her Twitter bio in a witty yet targeted way. A teenager working on her anger management problem, currently chilling and watching a good old-fashioned movie with a friend. No matter how many times Thunberg is shot down by older politicians, she still fights what she believes in and stands up to speak the truth. Greta Thunberg has had many accomplishments. For starters, she has written and published a book titled "No One is Too Small to Make a Difference," which has been established as a New York Times #1 bestseller. Thunberg is currently writing a second book that is expected to be released in the spring of 2020. Both pieces of literature are about her journey to becoming an activist and her views and opinions on the global issue of climate change and how anyone can make a change. She has also been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, been awarded the Amnesty International Ambassador of Conscience Award, and been chosen as Times Person of the Year in 2019. Overall, Greta Thunberg is known for her fight to save our planet. She has not only given herself a voice, but has inspired millions of others to do so. Thunberg continues to fight for a new Green Deal in the hopes of saving the Earth from irreversible future destruction. She's one of the youngest climate change activists in history and uses her age to her advantage. Greta Thunberg is the epitome of what it means to break barriers and change the world.